Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. If it's your first time, thank you so much for coming through. We
Yes,
appreciate you.
sir.
My name is Matt, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
What's up, y'all? It's Jermayne.
And my name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere. That's Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our shop. We got the shirts, we got rugs, stickers, all that. Make sure you go check that out.
hmm So, question of the day. If you had to choose your one choice in life, would you be ugly or poor?
Ugly or poor? Wait, those both bad though.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, I mean,
oh,
if you could be ugly and rich or
okay.
poor and fine.
Ugly and rich or poor and fine. Mm, that's a good question. Would I be ugly or rich? Ugly and rich or poor and fine? I probably would be ugly and rich. Cause who gives a fuck? Wait, well, actually, can I get plastic surgery? Like, can
I
I get a
mean,
new face?
the money, you can make anything happen with some change.
Oh yeah, I get a new face for real. Like, sew some other shit on this shit. Just boom, like, slap that shit on, and we good. And I got money, so it's like I can go travel wherever I want to. I can go do what I want to. Um, yeah, I think that's what I'm choosing: ugly and rich. What y'all say?
What about you, Rod?
Uh, I think I'd rather just be ugly and rich because I can just stay to myself, call people over, be
You so
alone.
ugly, you got to stay in the crib. Like that's crazy.
Elephant Man.
Order inside chefs,
That's
cleaners,
wild.
all the fun. I don't know. I just have a big ass party at my crib where everybody wear masks.
That's
You got to do
wild.
like special events, special
See,
parties, theme parties all the time.
maybe it's the difference between women and men. Like, because I do think as a man, you can be ugly, and if you have money, you really are ugly. It makes you fine. For me, I would definitely choose being attractive. I would rather be good looking and poor than ugly rich. Because if you're good as a woman in particular, if you're good looking enough, like if you're fine, like Victoria's Secret model looks,
Hmm.
somebody's gonna give you some money. Like you'll be fine.
You know how many times I heard Drake and Future be like, Well, no, actually, let me not say that, because that implies that every woman from the projects is ugly. That's not what I mean. But I'm just saying, like, they talk about bossing up, you know what I'm saying, like good looking women from the bottom. Like they talk about that. I heard them say it so many
Men
times.
love it.
Yeah. So.
Men love it.
Hmm.
Men love a woman that they can help fix. She works at McDonald's and you can take her out of McDonald's and, give her a better life. And if your future, buy her a Patek.
Hmm.
So,
Damn, that's
yeah.
real. See, that's the thing. Like with men, like with that decision, between those two decisions, I might as well just be rich, because like why not? Like, cause if I'm ugly, women not gonna fuck with no ugly. Wait, no, hold on. I'm getting it fucked up. Ugly and rich, broke and okay. Say it one more time. Ugly and rich, or
Ugly and rich or broke and fine.
broke and fine.
I
The
feel like
women
it's
fuck
just
with
like the
broke
Jay
fine.
Z bar. It's
Uh huh.
just like I'm not ugly, like I'm rich, like I got a bunch of money. And I don't know, I don't remember exactly how it went, but
But
He said
this
that.
like I'm cool.
that is true though for men. Like if you have enough money, you aren't ugly. Versus if you're a man who is fine, but you're broke, like you're just broke and fine though.
But I
Like
feel
the
like you can only
fineness
get
is
so
not
far.
gonna get you money. It's gonna get you bitches, but not like it's not gonna. You can't get money for it. Women can monetize their looks in a way
Mm,
that men can't. Truthfully,
I
very
mean, I
true. You
do.
said
You
it,
can
not
go
me.
model and stuff like that, and do the same thing, kind of in that way.
but like I don't feel like male models. They don't. So they don't make as much as female models do, and I feel like what's weird is a lot of male models aren't fine. Like if you look at like the um like high luxury designer fashion shows, the runway shows, it's always like the goofiest dudes on the runway. Like he's 6'2", super skinny, no muscles, redhead with shades eyebrows. Like they want the quirky look. It's not the fine ones.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if
Yeah,
you're real fine as a man, you could be an actor. You could be like a Brad Pitt.
yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, I think with models they go for like striking looks, like not like oh you're beautiful, but it's like oh you got a very distinct looking face, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Which don't distinct face is not necessarily the best compliment that
Mm-mm.
you want. Like oh your
That
face
is
distinct
not a
as hell.
compliment.
Like okay thanks, but but yeah I think we can go ahead and get into this first topic that we got for you folks. So let's speak about we're gonna get into a bit of a shade roomy type of topic real quick. So let's talk about Tina Knowles and um, Richard Lawson, who announced their divorce, and I guess people saw it coming through the grapevine. So let's kind of speak on it,
Yes,
and
and
you
that
want to
is
go ahead.
Beyonce's mama for people who don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. So let's go ahead and play this
To the
clip and see what they
beehive.
talking about.
Yeah. So for context, for anybody who doesn't know, yeah, Tina Knowles is Beyonce's mom. She's 69. And she's been married to Richard Lawson for like 8 years. They just announced that they're getting divorced. This was obviously her second divorce because she was married to Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, for a long time. Um, I'll just play the clip and then yeah, we'll talk about it. So let's go ahead and pull this clip up here. But after they announced their divorce, a lot of people have been kind of looking back at their previous relationship and realized there might have been a little bit, a couple signs that maybe everything wasn't sweet. So we go ahead here and
The
play
difference.
this.
At 59, I moved to a new city, got a new car, a new man, a new life, and it is possible. I envisioned the type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But he has a lot of the qualities. No, he has a lot of the qualities that
Damn.
that I love, and
Well, good God, it's like every time I watch it, it just hit harder.
You
Yes,
see?
Damn,
it's cringeworthy.
man.
Very.
Especially the fact that he said no, and then she doubled down. No?
She said, nigga, no, you
Yeah, I
ain't.
said no. Did you hear me?
And you put her face, she
No?
said no, no.
Yeah,
Scrunched her face all up. Damn.
but
She
one thing
said
I
just
will
about
say, you said what?
She said just about everything. So
Which I mean, I guess that's a compliment, but I do want to ask y'all this. Like, obviously, nobody's perfect. So, is it bad that she said? I mean, she told the truth. She wasn't lying. Like, what's it does make me feel some type of way watching it, but like, she really didn't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how do y'all feel about that? Like, is she her telling the truth to be looked at as a bad thing?
I mean, you're right. Nobody is perfect. I think it's just the juxtaposition of it. The fact that she started the clip off with like, oh, I've done all these things in life and then I just changed my whole life at 59 and I'm just, so accomplished. And then you leave with he's not perfect. Like that even could have been a great place when he was like, no, she could have been like, yeah, but I'm not perfect either. Like we're both not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's the no, you're not perfect after I talked about how perfect or how great I am that looks like a little crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she could at least pointed out like one or two or three of his good qualities, but like she talked about all of hers and just said like, "Oh, but he not perfect." Yeah, like that.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of look a little bit crazy. Hmm.
Or like, you're not perfect, but you're perfect for me. Because I think that's all relationships are about. Like you said, none of us are perfect. It's just about who is perfect for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she really didn't have that perspective. That's really interesting. A lot of people, it seems like they saw this coming. That clip was from like 4 or 5 years ago, I believe.
4 years ago,
4 or 5. Okay, 4 years ago.
something
So
like that. But
okay.
you know what's the funniest part
Hmm.
is so she was married to Matthew Knowles for long time, like 30 years or so. But
Mm-hmm.
in their marriage, he cheated on her and had two outside kids.
Mm.
To me, like if the last relationship you were in led to two outside kids,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that your standards should be low because you should always have high standards, but a man treating you with respect, loving you, being there for you, like how could he not kind of be a little perfect in your eyes? Like she came from such a bad relationship, it seems like, with Matthew Knowles. I don't know, she just didn't seem very appreciative to me in that clip of, who Richard was for her.
You know, maybe is it any possibility that like they was beefed out? Like maybe yeah, it is the Black Love show. Like yeah, we are in a relationship, but like maybe they was beefed out and like she was feeling some type of way about him, and that's why she came at him that way. Like maybe he was doing some shit on the side that we don't know.
It's always possible.
Because like you said, like yeah, she should be like that should be her knight in shining armor. Like at least I'm not fucking around having kids on you. Like what you mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm
Exactly.
not perfect, but I ain't had, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. Comes off
You
as
ain't had
very
to deal with no
disrespectful.
outside babies.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. This is very interesting to me. But also let's talk about this other clip of them two. I guess this is an old clip as well. So let's kind of see if the writing was on the wall with this one.
The Sidewalk Cafe on the Champs-Elysees. I'm having a great cup of cappuccino with my boo. And I just asked him, was it Champs-Elysees or Champs-Elysees? And this was his response.
She gonna fuck it up anyway because she country. So it doesn't matter if it's LSD or Elizah or Elize. Y'all like that anyway when she does that. So say it any way you want to, baby.
Oh, he was hot.
Such language. I
He
am
was
at
hot.
a
He was hot. He was hot. That's bad. That's a man that's fed up and ready to go. That is crazy. And the thing is, like, obviously, it's gonna be different disagreements. It's gonna be different disagreements in relationships. I don't know. How do you work through that? Like, do you feel? Did that seem like just like, oh, we just having a bad day, or it's over to y'all?
Well, considering this is now 2 clips back to back where he seems hella irritated with her,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more than a bad day. Um, I don't know. I do think it's. Let me be a little toxic for a second.
Okay.
I do enjoy one of the things about like social media and the fact that like today everything is on social media, that when people break up, especially people in the public eye, you can go back to see all the old clips where it was like, yeah, these two were obviously gonna get divorced. When you see clips of them shading each other, saying some shit that like maybe in the moment seemed cute and innocent, but you realize it was probably low-key beef when they said this. I actually think it's really funny. And honestly, you see it with regular people too. Like when all of a sudden, the girl starts posting the text memes about healing and what she deserves, and you're like, yeah, the past couple posts she's made, they gave me that vibe. There was a breakup. She did post a girls trip recently, and she was shaking a lot of ass. I should have known she was
Mm.
about to be single.
You gotta know it. You gotta know it. That shit dangerous too, though, because it's
It's
like,
because she was dancing a lot and shaking ass a lot. Is that like a signal
yes,
that
what?
guys should get out the relationship?
Yeah, that's like, or that, or like the thirst trap to let
Hmm.
somebody know, like, listen, I'm a free agent again.
That's an advertisement for real. Like, hey, pick me, pick me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
that's
I guess
literally
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
I guess when we're talking about like the Kiki Palmer thing, it was like it's kind of like I feel like most people say, yeah, dude should get over it. Don't matter if she's shaking ass and stuff. It's like not over. It's just she embracing
She
herself.
she was not shaking that.
She was. She did a little twirl.
She wasn't shaking. No, that's not what I mean by shaking ass.
She was about naked. It was a see-through dress.
But she wasn't shaking ass. She wasn't hands on her knees, whatever on the thought shit. She wasn't doing that. She just had her ass out. That's different. Which I mean, that could apply. Like if like you said, Jermaine, the thirst trap, right?
Mm.
If a girl posts a
Yeah.
picture with a back to the camera, and it was that outfit, like you might,
Mm-hmm.
it might be
I'm kind of
yet
wondering, is
again.
that a sign? Like right there. That's why I was just like,
You know what? That's a good
possibly.
point. Because you know what's interesting is like when everybody was talking about the Keke Palmer shit. I don't know if anybody brought up the point that like maybe they just aren't even together, like, or we're on the edge of a breakup.
Yeah,
Because
that
that
is.
is kind of something you would do when you're about to break up. Like, I'm gonna wear a scandalous dress. I know he wouldn't like. I'm about to go out of town with my girls, and I'm gonna post hella pictures of it on social media, so I know it makes its way back to him.
Mm,
Yeah, because like nobody in there was wearing a naked, like see-through kind of dress like that. She was the only one.
stop.
Like
You
even her
don't know
friends
that.
wasn't even dressed
Stop
like
that.
that. We
You
saw
don't
people
know that.
around her. What do you mean we
Nigga, it
don't
was
know? We saw her.
50,000 people at that show. Nigga, how you know that
Like
nobody else was just like that?
nobody was dressed like that. She was the only one wearing like a see-through. You could see like her panties, her bra. Like nobody was dressed like that. It was only
You
Kiki. It was
don't
a
know
Kiki
that.
show. Kiki and Usher.
It's Vegas is hot. I'm gonna throw her some bells. It's Vegas is hot. She was just trying to breathe. I understand.
Everybody else was just gonna like take the heat. She was like, nah.
Mm. You know what? It is possible they could have already been done at that point. But that is the calling card. Like as a woman, that's what you got to do to let people know. Like I'm single. Because personally, I think it's tacky if you post I'm single. It's like, all right, girl, whatever. So
Like
you
the
got to do the little,
words.
yeah.
Yeah, nah.
When you post that, that means you're not really single. That means you and this nigga got in a fight, and you're gonna be back together in 72 hours, and you want to
Mm.
just make him mad. But when you really might actually be single is when you post all the sad memes for a while, like I'm loving on myself, working on me for me, and you do all that for a couple days, and then hit him with the thirst trap.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say I hate when people post cryptic messages on like, why don't nobody fuck with me? Like I don't understand what it is, but I just nobody really fuck with me. Nobody in my corner. Like why are you like go talk to them? Don't talk to us about it. That's
Why do
just
you hate that?
aggravating.
Like
You
I
The
said why
love
do
that
I
worst.
hate
shit.
that?
Yeah, I
No, it's
love like when I see
annoying.
cryptic messages. I'm like it just seems like drama. Like I'm waiting to see their next story. Like I'm like, all right, what's next? Like it's just like I don't know. It's good content.
The ones that piss me off the most are the betrayal ones, where it's like so many people did me dirty. They pretended like they had my back and they didn't. All these people betrayed me, but I'm gonna come up in the end. It's like, who betrayed you? Who
Damn, it's
did
really
what?
me against the world. Like this shit
Yeah.
really crazy. Like, I hate it. I really hate it.
I
But
always be
have
wanting
you?
to see them like really come up though. It's like, but they don't never do it. Like, even after years.
Yeah, have y'all ever seen that? I don't know how often y'all go on social media, but do y'all have anybody that y'all follow that like literally for years? That's all they've been posting is just posts about cryptic
Yes.
shit.
Yes.
It's like that's a waste of energy. Go change your life like, and get off the internet.
And
I don't
it's
know.
like, you know, for years you've been talking about, yeah, they hate on me. Just wait till they see the come up. Wait till they see the come up. It's like it's been 7 years. We have not seen a come up.
Like
You were
we'll
in the
see.
same spot you were in 7 years ago.
Hmm.
You now look stupid.
And to get back to Tina and Richard, so let's talk about the first clip, right? Just for example,
Yeah,
do y'all feel like that's something that could be worked through? Like just that conversation where like, oh, you're not perfect. No, no. Like, can y'all would y'all feel like y'all could work through that in a relationship? It was on national TV. That's a factor.
see, I'm gonna take it like take it for Richard a little bit. I feel like me and him
Okay.
would have reacted differently. If that was me, like yeah, saying no, no, he kind of did speak up, but I feel like if it was me, I probably would just ended the interview and been like,
Mm.
like we gotta talk. Like you're not gonna be talking about me like this on like live TV, and that's not about to go out. Like we gotta have a
Mm.
conversation. Like I would have ended the thing like immediately right there if that was me. Like I'm not taking that kind of disrespect like on camera and shit. But that's me
That
personally.
that's the part that made me sick for him is the fact that it was on camera. Like to me, if she was willing to talk to him like that when they were recording a show all about Black love, I'm like, oh, she's talking to him crazy outside of these cameras.
Like it had nothing to do about bigging herself up either. It's like you could have just did that without even mentioning my presence or anything. Like I was just a supporting person. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
I was just going to respond to your initial question of like, is that something that's fixable? I think it's hard because people in their words and in their actions show you how they feel about you. They show you how they see you in comparison to themselves. And I personally would not be in a relationship with anybody who made me feel disposable. It's one thing to be like, girl, you're not perfect. You got flaws, I got flaws, and we're perfectly flawed together. But I don't think I'd be comfortable being in a relationship where somebody is like sunning me on national TV. Like, because that just would show me like you just don't respect me enough. And you don't see me in a high enough standard that you want to maintain my image. And you already add the factor that like she's Beyonce's mom and he's Richard Lawson. Like, yes, he's a very successful, well, let's not say very, he's a successful actor in his own right. He has a successful daughter, Bianca Lawson, like one of the most beautiful girls.
That's his
ever.
daughter?
That's his daughter.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
No, she's fine.
Not for
beautiful. He has a life that's to be respected. But obviously, like, her daughter is Beyonce. Her two kids are Beyonce and Solange. Like, so she has so much more fame than him, so much more access than him, so much more resources than him. You already have that weird power dynamic, and then you make it worse by being like, no, you're not perfect. I would just be like, okay, what am I here for at this point?
And I think you said the key word respect. Like that's what it seemed like she didn't have that for him. And like to Rod's point, like ending the interview and being like, hey man, like we ain't finna do that. Like we're not doing none of that. Like you're gonna have to talk to me nice or don't talk to me at all, basically. Like that might have bode well for him to get her to respect him. It just seemed like it was none of that there. Like it might have been
I would
love,
have
but it
just got
wasn't
off
like
camera. Like if you're gonna say all that, like I'm not about to be sitting right next to you. Like while you saying all that, like you have the interview, you do that. Like, I'm not gonna be looking like a clown while you clowning me.
So let's talk about the second clip because like he kind of he piped up a little bit in the second clip. So like maybe he didn't want to embarrass her on camera, but it seemed like on that social media post he was like, "Man, you country as hell, like it don't even really matter." So it was like maybe he was fighting back, but in that clip he just seemed like defeated for some reason.
You know what their dynamic reminds me of? It reminds me of like the dude who gets the girl that he really like wanted for a long time. Like, y'all been trying to get at this girl for years. I finally got her. She knows that I've been wanting her for years. So she kind of treats me like shit. And that you're cool with it for a while because, okay, I always wanted this girl. And then finally one day it's like, wait a minute. Like, you weren't shit though. Like, I thought you were this amazing person. You just a regular ass bitch. Like, you are regular. And then he starts like kind of treating her that way. And I feel like that's what happened. Like, if you look at their history, he's known her since before Beyonce was born. Her best friend is actually his sister. And so he has said publicly, like, he'd been trying to get at her for like 40 years before they ever, got together. And I think he did probably put her on a certain pedestal. And then you realize, like, wait a minute, like, she country, she's might be self-centered, she might be this. And all of a sudden, it switches a dynamic because she's used to you kissing her ass, essentially. And, without that ass kissing in the relationship might not be so sweet.
This is gonna be a crazy comparison, but it's like Professor Ogilvy and Nikki Parker from the Parkers. Like it's almost like that, where it's like I've been chasing you all this time, so it's like it's the dynamic where Tina like, oh, it's this nigga been on my ass, like he been on my dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a good dynamic to start off with because she already don't respect you.
I hate to say it. This might be some advice for men in terms of dating, but this is just my perspective. if you gotta like chase a woman a certain amount to get her to fuck with you, she's not worth fucking with. Because you're always going to be chasing her.
Mm.
The relationship dynamic only works if you keep chasing her. So it's cool if, you know what I'm saying, like you gotta get her attention in the beginning or you gotta make sure you stand out. I'm not saying that. But if the whole dynamic exists of you kind of following her around like a little puppy dog for months to years to finally get her to give you a chance, she's only giving you a chance because she's desperate. And she's going to treat you like I can treat him however, because I know he wants me more than I want him.
And look what happened. Look at why they were in a position to actually be in a relationship. Because you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say too much. No disrespect to the whole Knowles family, but look at why she was in that position because she
Yeah,
down bad. Oh, you here still? Okay. We might as well go ahead and do it.
exactly. She didn't get with him because, you know what, I'm just not happy with Matthew. I'm going to get divorced. And wow, like, Richard, you've always been here. I want to, I really want to be with you. She got with him because this nigga had 2 kids on her and then she was divorced. And like, you still here? You still trying to get at me? Whatever. It happens every day.
It does. It's all bad. It's really all bad. But I think we exhausted that one. I guess shout out to them. Hopefully something happens good for them. I don't know. We don't know them people. But I did want to talk about this another topic here. So I just wanted to know, like, do y'all know somebody where, it's like a group of people, right? Do y'all know somebody that is always around, but like nobody fucks with them at all, but like they're still always there?
Yes, absolutely.
So why do people put up with that if they don't fuck with that person? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, why do people still keep that person around and still be cool with them if they don't fuck with them? I don't know. It's weird to me.
Do you got a specific person you thinking of?
I do. She came up to me. She was like, "Yo, like I've been having some problems with let's say her name is
Rebecca.
let's say her name is Rebecca. So I've been having problems with Rebecca. So I told yo, like Rebecca, we not really vibing. Like she on some different type of shit, right?" And she was like, "Oh, I would have thought that I was the first person that complained, but I was surprised to know that I'm not the first person to complain. It seemed like nobody fucks with this person." And yeah, it just kind of surprised me because I'm like, I don't really fuck with her like that either. I just didn't really talk about her like that, but I just didn't really rock with her. Um, but it's just interesting to see like the person that told me that will still be over there laughing and having fun and having good conversations with this person that they allegedly don't like and have a problem with. And that's just kind of weird to me. I just don't understand why those dynamics exist and why can't people be honest and say like, hey, I don't really rock with you like that, or just be honest with the things that pisses them off. But I just want to know y'all thoughts on that. Like, why can't people be real about things that they don't like about somebody?
That's a great question. It's funny, the original question about like somebody in a group who other people don't like. I've seen it before in friend circles, here or there, but where I feel like I've seen it the most is in work situations.
Hmm.
Um, and what I used to think at work was like, oh, it's because you don't want to alienate somebody because we all work together. That's how I used to feel. And then what I started to notice was like in some of these cliques where it would happen, everybody, saves face for work, but then outside of work, person A is
Hmm.
inviting the person that they don't like over to their house to kick in on the weekend, or they're inviting this person out to go get drinks, or this person is still invited to the happy hours. And it would always throw me off because it's like, well, this stuff is outside of work. This has nothing to do with work. This isn't about being polite. This isn't about saving face in the office or just trying to be cordial with people. Like you're letting people who you quote unquote don't like come to your home. I thought that was so weird. So,
Yeah.
well, stuff like that, I truly don't know what the motive is for that. I don't know if it's a matter of like I feel like I can get something from this person at some point. I don't know.
You don't think it would be weird if a bunch of people in the office all got together and then they got back to the office and you're all joking and talking about the weekend, and then the person walks up to you guys and say, "Hey, what you guys laughing about?" And you be like, "Oh, this weekend, so and so had a kickback, and we all got together like people from the office."
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that person will feel the way about not being invited?
So I've been in that situation myself where I'm like, damn, all y'all hung out without me. But the way I
Like
always
people
look at
don't really like you, like you would take it like that way. If you, since you
um
weren't invited, like you're the person that wasn't like in that situation, or
yeah, I was a person that didn't get the invite, but I just took it as like we aren't friends. And like that's okay. We're coworkers. We aren't friends. Um, I didn't even really like, yeah, it like stings a little bit like, damn, you had everybody over to your house for drinks except me. Like it's not a good feeling by any means. But I also, like I said, was like, well, we're just not friends. And the way I looked at it is like, I wouldn't invite you to my house either. So like we're even. Um, I think it's weirder to have like, let's say I'm thinking about like one of my teams or something. Let's say it was like 10 people. If you invite 10 people over and one of the people, the moment they leave, you're talking shit about them and you're like, man, I can't stand so he's so fucking annoying, he's so weird, he's this, he's that. To me, I almost feel like that's worse because it's like, but you made him feel like you guys are friends, you like me kikiing with him, you have inside jokes, and he doesn't know that like everybody was talking shit. I personally, and I'll say this from experience, I would rather not be invited and still have like my dignity and self-respect than to have been invited and then have everybody shit on me after.
1000%. And then ain't nobody gonna tell you because everybody really wishy washy. Like they might tell you like when it get to the point where they stop disliking um
The other people in
another
the group.
person, and they be like, damn, you
Mm-hmm.
know they was talking crazy shit when you had left. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. I
I feel
don't
like
like
most
that.
people want to be included. Like no matter if
Even if the people don't like you.
yeah, people don't like you, you always feel like, oh, I know somebody there would like me. I feel like that's how most people would take it. They ain't really nobody really in the office and thinks, oh, nobody don't like me usually. Like that's a really, because I feel like if you feel that way, then just leave. If you feel like
Yeah,
nobody, not even one person,
yeah.
I
it's like either you would change your like own attitude yourself, or you would just leave this
Hmm.
situation eventually and try to find a new somewhere else.
So I'll give an example of something that happened at work that was really interesting. So my team, it was like I said, maybe like 8, 10 of us, whatever. And so there were like different levels of like closeness amongst the relationships. Like these two people are cool, these people are cool, kind of whatever. And so me and like I was saying, my friends weren't a fan of this one particular guy on the team. He was a guy who I'm thinking about, like nobody really liked him, but some people still put up with him. I didn't like him and I kind of made it known I didn't really like him.
Hmm.
And so we had a new girl start and she would hang out with this guy. They like lived in the same apartment complex. So she would hang out with him. And so I'm like, okay, like that's her friend. Like, that's cool. We can still be friends. Like, I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, well, we can't be friends because you're friends with this person. But it seemed like because she knew that me and my friends didn't really like this person, she made an extra point to shit on him. And so she would do this thing where she would take the secrets that he told her and she would tell us this stuff.
Mm-mm.
So, I would just be like,
Oh
oh,
man, she was white.
What? What you mean? That's not.
That's
Go
just
ahead. Go ahead.
seems like
Go ahead.
something that they do.
I will not
I gotta be
confirm.
in. I gotta be down.
I will not confirm or deny. But so yeah, she would so for example, we would be complaining about him as a teammate, like, oh yo,
Mhm.
so and so, like he's overly competitive, or
Hmm.
he's really like pushing to get a promotion, da da da. And then she would come in and she'd be like, yeah, and like he's lonely, like he hasn't been on a date in a year. He can't get a girl and da 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 da. He told me that he's like really so lonely and wants a girlfriend. Can you believe he told me all this? And I'm like, he's telling you all this because you act like you're his friend. To me, that's snake shit. That's why I'm like, I don't. If somebody's not in the
Was
group,
she
I'm gonna let
single?
you know. No, she wasn't.
Oh.
And,
She
and I
didn't put
think
him
that
on?
Not as far as I know.
that's where the dilemma is. It's like, who can you trust when you know somebody is really friend, like you really hung out like at his crib and you sitting over here telling us about his personal business when we wouldn't even talk about his personal business. We just talking about
No,
work.
and didn't give a fuck about his personal business. Like that's why when people, I get that feeling that yeah, everybody wants to like feel included, but sometimes for your own safety, it's almost better to be like, yo, if these people don't fuck with me, I'm out. Like I don't even want to be in the mix because people can betray your trust and do all types of funny shit like that.
I
Mm-hmm.
got a question here. So, how did you feel when this lady was telling you all this information about the guy?
Disgusted
Disgusted at the guy or disgusted at her?
at her.
Or both?
I was disgusted at the girl. Like, I don't like fake people. So that for me was a sign. This when we were just getting to know her too. That's what the funny thing was. So technically I knew him longer than I knew her. So when she was doing all this, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be cool with you. And then for him, I didn't feel disgusted. It just made sense because like just the way he acted was very off-putting, very off-putting. And so in my mind, I would kind of be like, what do you do on the weekends? Like, who do you
Mm-hmm.
kick it with? Like, who will put up with this shit? And so to hear that, like, yeah, nobody really will put up with this and women aren't attracted to him, it kind of made me feel actually more compassionate for him because I was like, oh, like he's lonely. Like some of how reason why he acts the way he does is probably because he's lonely, probably because he doesn't have very high self-esteem. He's trying to make himself feel better. So it made me be compassionate towards him, but she didn't tell me that to make me compassionate. She told me that to be like, what? Oh, of course, he's so ugly. Like, that's why he doesn't have any bitches. And instead,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like, I wonder if I got somebody I can set him up with.
Damn, that's so fucked up. Damn.
It was
I
really
mean, yeah,
fucked up.
it does make
I'd
sense though.
imagine y'all always still laughing about it.
No.
Like it was just quiet and she was just telling all the juice.
Yeah.
And
It
everybody
was
was just
really,
looking, they were just like
it
just
was,
drinking and just like
and that's what
it
was
just seems
awkward. And
awkward.
she wouldn't get like, this is uncomfortable. And the thing is like she was a bit younger than everybody else. So let's say like most of the people were like 30 and she was like 25. And it was just that big of enough of an age gap where like she doesn't know that like that's not cool. So she would tell it like, oh, this is so funny. It's like maybe at 25, I might have laughed. But it's like at 30, I'm like, and this was like during COVID too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, damn, bitch, we're all lonely. Like, don't make fun of him for
Yeah.
being lonely. Like, we all stuck in the house.
Mm-mm-mm.
Like what? So who invited her and like why?
Into the group with everybody else.
Yeah, to like y'all little gathering. Like why did
So,
y'all invite this 25-year-old or the young person in the office when y'all more seasoned, y'all know each other? It just seems like everyone already kind of was in a group and then
so
you invited someone kind
she
of.
was the new girl on our team. And so we invited her out to like, be welcoming, and to like tell her like, oh, we can like be your like mentors. If you need mentors, we can help you out on the team. And yeah, she was just having a hard time, which is why everybody was like, oh, we want to just like try to help you out on a personal level, and then kind of figured out
Mm-hmm.
like, who she was.
Yeah. And after that, it was kind of just like, I'm not mentoring you no more.
Nope.
No, that's super fake. Super. Yeah, I don't understand why people are that way. I think I really don't understand. Like I've been trying to wrap my brain. Like that's why I brought it up is because I've been having this problem where people come up to me talking about this person, where it's like, but I see them still talking to them and laughing. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying, like having real conversations. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand why people do that, other than like,
Are
oh,
you
like,
upset about it, or like,
no, my
does
thing
it
is, I
bother
don't like
you?
what bothers me is that they talk about somebody to me that they seem cool with. So it's like, if you cool with them and you talk about them, what you say about me that I don't know.
I
Exactly.
get that. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because I could be turning around doing the same thing.
The same exact thing, which they probably are. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, I pressed back on that because when the girl told me that, I'm like, y'all probably be saying the same shit. Like, y'all probably be talking shit about me. She's like, no, no, nobody ever says anything about you. I was like, nah, I know you lying today.
I was about to say, yeah.
I, I know you're a fucking liar. I don't know if I could trust you at all. You know what I'm saying?
Do you like when people tell you shit that other people have said about you at work?
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. That's just me though. I feel like I'm a special type of person because I love feedback. I love constructive criticism because people oftentimes don't really tell me about myself. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear about myself though, like in a bad way.
But you
'Cause
wouldn't do anything about the information though. You just be
how
like,
you
oh,
know?
that's how they feel about me. Like fuck them.
Are you telling about my? You telling me about myself right now? Like, nigga,
Like
even if
you
you
just
did hear it, you're not gonna do nothing. Like,
yeah, like some person be like, oh, I don't really rock with him like that at work. You just be like,
yeah,
oh, for real? Oh, okay, cool. You'll just shut them.
that's
Like,
that's funny because you are right. You are right. I wouldn't, but I still want to know because so I can know how to proceed. Like, I don't want to try to be cool with somebody or try to be this, that, the third when they feel this way about me. You know what I'm saying? Or if I can improve on something, like stop talking so loud or stop doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need to know those things so I can know how to improve. And people oftentimes don't keep it real with me. So I would love if somebody told me about myself. You know, that's me though. That's just me.
if it's constructive, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be too personal.
You can get personal with me too, shit, because I'm gonna joke back. Trust me, I've been thinking of jokes for the ass. I've been thinking about it. That's probably not a good thing either. Like, if you already got jokes loaded up for people, like, it's probably not like you should
Yeah.
probably, But yeah, I
Because
just
if
wanted to
someone
see your
was like,
perspective.
oh, this person, like, I'm guessing, but oh, they talk too much in the office, or they
Hmm.
always lazy, or something like that. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. I am curious how you would respond to that. What if I told you, I'm like, yeah, one of your coworkers is like, you know what? Every time I walk past Matt's desk, he's always on his laptop, like not looking at work shit. Like he's always on Reddit, he's on Twitter. Like
Hmm.
he never seems to be working.
How would I feel? I probably would be like,
But like,
mind
what
your
would you do with
business.
that?
Mind your business. You not my boss. Don't tell me what to do. You go do your how, you wasn't working. You seen me not working, but you wasn't working when you seen me not working. So you do your work. That's what I would say. Because I don't like that type of shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have comebacks like ready. So it's like I'm waiting for a nigga to say something to me. I'm waiting for like, you understand. But
I see.
not for real.
I felt the heat in that one.
But yeah, I think, like I said, I just wanted to get an understanding on, like, if y'all had those experiences before and like why people do the things they do. I mean, and I'm sure this could extend to friend groups as well. I don't think I ever had this situation in a friend group like that I can think of. Oh no, I have. Probably Big Mike, which Rod tortured and traumatized Big Mike. It was really
hey
crazy.
yo, let's not put this narrative out there. I
What you
know we talked
mean? You
about it.
did that though.
Nah, I know we
You
talked about it in
did.
the past episode about how it was y'all. He hit the sign.
That was one incident, but every other
Yeah.
day, man, Rod, you was, man, that shit was crazy. I'm like, I don't know why Rod doing this to him. That's crazy. But no, anyway, I ain't gonna put that on you. But all right, let's get into this
Nah.
next topic.
Okay.
Let's get into this next topic, man. So, um, man, when the last time y'all been to the club, or last time y'all been to a bar or something like that?
I'm at bars often.
Okay.
So probably like just about every week. A club. I've not been to a club. maybe like it's been a year ago, maybe now.
About a year. Okay. Rod, you been to the club recently?
The club? No, I
Mhm.
haven't been to a club and it's been a while. But I mean, I definitely been to bars and stuff like that. But no
Okay.
clubs. I'm not a club person.
No, I feel you. Me either. But the thing about clubs is, or the thing about bars is, usually they be having specials and shit like that. You might be able to get like a $2 fireball shot or some bullshit. But
Mm-hmm. Happy
um,
hour.
yeah, shout out to Happy Hour, man. It's a great time, great time. So, but Charleston White has something to say about strip clubs and black clubs specifically. So, let's go ahead and play this clip.
Yeah,
And I
they
just
be charging too much.
you think that?
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, let's discuss.
Every
Let me play
time
this.
people walk in the door, there's
uh,
a cover. Like this
that's
gratitude. He goes into it. Yeah, let's
hmm
play the clip.
okay. Let's talk about it.
But man, they stealing from us up there, homie. If we just go beyond it, homie. The bras is beautiful and wonderful. But how they conducting the business, everybody's being robbed. So they hard on the bras. The bras, everybody squeezing our pockets, homie, and we just trying to come in and have fun. They go overcharge us for the section. They go overcharge us for the liquor. They ain't gonna never have no drink specials. The white club go have $2 Tuesdays, $3
Yeah.
Wednesdays, $4 Thursdays, and then every 6-7 song they go come out. Hey, we got the $2 crown and shots down for the song. The black club don't got no specials, no days for nothing, and nigga, it's a tax every time you come through.
And they make you feel like shit when you ain't tipping. The DJ, well, yo, get your broke ass out the club. Like,
Yeah.
No, that's 100% true.
No lies were told. I went to the strip club last Saturday, and that was 100% the experience. It's like from the fee to walk in to the valet to
Hmm
2 shots of tequila, 2 shots of Patron were more than $40. To the fact that when you want your singles, they take their cut from the singles, and then you tip the
Yep.
girls. I mean, it's a money pit.
That don't make sense because it's like I get in trouble if I bring a pint in there. You know what I'm saying? But y'all charging $20 for a Patron shot is ridiculous. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I will say like Charleston White is talking about black clubs. I have had this experience at white clubs before too, but I will say more often it is black clubs. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all.
No, the white clubs that you had this experience at, were they like in big cities? Like were they in Detroit?
I mean, I ain't go. I went to, and I'm not talking about strip clubs. I'm talking about a club
Mm-hmm.
specifically. It's a club in Royal Oak, something with a P. But I want to say it's like 25 or 30 to get in there. Um, which off top, like if you got covered as like over $5, I'm already gonna look at you sideways. So like that's that, and the drinks was OD expensive. You know what I mean? Like probably like $10 for a beer, like a bottle of beer. You know what I mean? So like this happens at white clubs sometimes too. I'm just saying, but they do be taxing at black clubs for sure.
Yeah. The strip clubs be super crazy. Like I remember that one story you told me of the strip club and how that old girl looked at you. Like,
That's not even related, but I'll tell that story anyway. That don't got nothing to do with no price because I paid my money for that goddamn dance. Okay. Now, actually, I went to the same strip club that Jermaine is speaking of. I remember we had went. I was with somebody, which I won't name them because it might get them in trouble. But so it was $20 to get in, so we got in. Whatever. We went and sat down. Seen a nice young lady, or she might have seen me first. She came over, offered me a dance or two. Paid for the dance. Woo woo.
And how much are the dances there?
That's a
I've
good
never had a
question.
dance there before.
I can't remember. I mean, it was maybe like $5 or something. I can't
Oh,
remember.
okay.
Yeah, that was years ago, but it might have
wait,
been
$5 for what?
for like a dance, like is it a table dance they call it? Like when they come, just you know what I'm saying, when you sit
Oh,
at the
not going
chair.
back in the room and stuff.
Now back in the room, $5 is wild. That's wild.
It was definitely more than $5 though when I went.
Yeah, I
was
feel
more
like it would
5.
still to be like 20, right?
For a
Yeah,
dance?
right. It was somewhere like 20, 30.
Like a 1 song dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like yeah.
Oh, I must have been drunk out of my
Maybe
mind to get that.
I don't know. I'm just that
At
seems off to
Palladium,
me. But
$5. Like I keep going with the story. Like
yeah.
maybe this is why
Okay. Yeah, if it was 5, this might be why she said this to me.
she might have looked at you real, real crazy for a reason.
Like, if you don't
Keep
get your
going.
broke ass on, don't even look at me, nigga. No, but so this is what happened. So I bought the dance, $5, $20, whatever it was. I might have bought 2 songs. Like it might have been 2 songs. But anyway, between one of the songs, like she was dancing on me or whatever. And obviously I'm not gonna look to the side. Like I don't see her on my lap right here. Like I'm not gonna look. So I'm looking at her. I don't know if I was looking at her in the eyes or whatnot, but I remember she was just like, "Why are you looking at me so sexually?" And I'm like, I can't remember my response, but like just through the years as I've been thinking about this, it's like, what else am I supposed to do? But like you're
A stripper saying that to you is crazy because
wow.
that means she's seen all types of horniness. You must have been on a whole different level.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, it had to be like super weird, horny look. Like, it had to be like no blinking, like
I was about to
just
say, like
stare.
serial killer horny.
Damn, it might have been. Damn, maybe I got to start wearing shades in the club. Like that is crazy. How was I looking at her?
Because I've seen some crazy things in the strip club. I mean, these men are horny. So for her to be like, "Oh, why are you looking at me so sexually?" Yeah, she might have thought you were about to Jeffrey Dahmer her ass.
Damn, that might be what it is. It's either
I'm
that or
surprised she
she
didn't just
just
say go to the back. Like if you're gonna be looking at me like that, like you're gonna need some more money.
Okay, that's another angle. Cause my angle is either what Jermaine said, like she thought I could be like Ted Bundy type shit, or she was like just knew I was broke and was just like, don't even look at me sexually. Like, don't look at me. You know what I mean? Like that could have been what it was. Like, don't, like I already know you can't afford me type shit. You know, so that's what happened.
I do wonder how she expects you to look at her though, because it's like if you are naked dancing on me, how do I look at you non-sexually? Like, what is the platonic way to look at you?
I don't like. Do I put my like? Oh, that's dope. That's nice. Like, what do I do? Like, thumbs up you or like
You just slipped that $5 in there.
in
And
the
she's just like,
in the string G string?
yeah, she just sick.
Did they get ass naked there? I can't remember.
No, I
it
think just
wasn't.
like topless.
It's
It
topless.
is.
Okay.
It's funny, like so. When I was there, and I always have this experience, but definitely last time, like the club was very empty, and I obviously had like a stack of ones. So, the girls on the stage weren't really doing much. So one of the dancers came and she gave me a little like, she just started dancing next to me. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna throw my money on her then.
Mm-hmm.
And it is awkward because like I'm not gay, I'm not bi, like I'm not attracted to women at all. So it's not like I see it and I'm like, oh yeah, girl, I just watched them and I'm like, good job.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I feel like women that go into the strip club, they go that way. You know what I'm saying? Like most
You never
women.
been with a lady to the strip club, or brought a girl, or went with your home girl to the strip club? No.
Nah. I only think I only went with like male friends, to be honest. Never with like a girl I was dating or anything like that. Nah.
See, I was there on a date, so it
Been a
was
couple
obvious
times.
like I'm not,
No, it's not necessarily obvious because like y'all could be recruiting. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean,
could be like,
I don't know.
True.
I'd be expecting them to like start dancing too. Like
the girl that you
yeah,
with?
like the girl you bringing along, like probably like they dance with each other, like
That's what I ended up doing. Like I did a little like
getting a little into it,
a little
like dancing
dirty
each
wine.
other.
That's not. What do you mean? Like that's
I
not.
feel like
what
that's what I want to see. To be honest, like that's why
Wait.
I'm bringing her.
Say that again. Maybe I misunderstood.
This
Tell
nigga's
me,
crazy.
elaborate more. What do you expect her to do? Like
I'm
start
saying
touching on
like
her?
I would expect them to be dancing on each other and like the two girls to be like, if I'm bringing the girl to strip, like, yeah, I want them to see the girl I'm dating and the girl dancing on each other. Like yeah, I want to see that.
See, but that's another thing to me that's interesting about strip club rules is like we need a stripper on the show so I can ask her. But like the difference between rules for women and for men. So for example, like men, obviously you're not allowed to touch them in the strip club. But I feel like I've been to the club and some girls, some dancers don't mind when girls touch them. So it's hard to know like, can you dance on them? And will they not care because you're a girl? Or are they gonna be like, bitch, no, rules apply to you. No
Right.
hands. Look, don't touch.
I done been to strip club where you can touch the dancers though.
You said you have?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they definitely be dancing on you. Maybe not like so physical with the hands, but like, yeah, I want to
Oh
see all
God,
that. Like I feel like yeah, like that's the whole point.
I mean, they dance on you, but I don't know. I know sometimes as a man you can't necessarily like go like smack the ass,
mm-hmm.
but usually
Sometimes.
girls can't, do a little something.
It
Right.
depends on who it is.
Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah, I would be interested to hear that. So, any strippers or dancers that's listening, please come on. We would love to hear your perspective on
Yes.
life.
Yes. The last thing I'll say about this topic, and I just got to get off, is like what is really interesting about the nightclub space, bar space, is if you look at white clubs and white bars, so you said they have all these specials, they have all these discounts, and those spots will be open for like 20, 30 years. I mean, there are some white bars that have been around in Detroit for forever, where you'll see like a 50-year-old mom goes and takes her 21-year-old daughter to get her first drink kind of thing. But you don't see that as much with black spots. Like a lot of the pop-in black clubs, they kind of come and go. They're hot for a couple years and then they go away. And so it's kind of surprising and interesting that you have all of these different rules, all these different ways that you try to tax people for money, and it doesn't result in a healthy business. It doesn't result in the business being open long term. So I don't know if it's just bad business in terms of money management on the side of ownership. I don't know if, it's maybe certain situations that go down and there are legal reasons why they close. But my instinct is that people eventually get tired of spending this much money. Like if it's a spot where you can have a good time for $50, $100, you might go there every single week. If you know to go to this club is going to be a $500 ordeal, like most people are not going to do that on a regular basis.
That is
And
true.
also, I'm gonna put something in about black places in general. Like, it's always like too expensive, like exactly for the section and then the drinks and stuff like that. But then it's like they don't be treating you right. Like they don't really take customer service as the number one thing. And it's more or less it's the ambiance. They take the ambiance over the customer service. And they more like trying to get you in and like out the way. They don't just make you feel welcome, like a part of the place and like what you would want like at the white spots. Like if you continuously go there, they'll treat you like a regular. Like, oh, how you doing? Like I see you around, blah blah blah. Like they'll create some type of like connection with you. But like the black spots, it'd be like you can go there to a black spot multiple times, and if it's like a boom, if it's really like a popping spot, they're not gonna like you're just another person like going by, unless you like some big name or something like that they really want to talk to you. Other than that, you're just like another person on every day. Like, all right, let me get your money and keep it moving.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, we spoke multiple times on this podcast about you going to white places and it being the same. It's for a different reason, obviously, but like we don't get the best service at white places sometimes too. So Yeah, you would just expect it from the black spot where it's like, you look like me, like coming to support you. Like you would expect them to do that, but it is what it is. But folks, if you're listening out there, keep supporting these black businesses, so they don't go out of business in 2.5 years, and that would be great. But other than that, let's go ahead and get to some highlights for this week. So, does anybody have anything they want to highlight for the people?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go first then. Um, so there was a lot of music that came out, but man, I'm just gonna go ahead and hype a few of these artists now. So
Okay.
Post Malone, he came out with Austin, and also Travis Scott, he came out with Utopia. Two very big albums. I'm kind of wondering who's gonna sell the most on this. We have
Oh
more time to
no.
probably talk about it, and maybe we'll talk about that on the next spot. But also, those are the big name artists that everyone's gonna be looking out for. But another project that I was listening to lately is like a little EP. It's called Between
Hmm.
Friends, and they have a haircut EP. It's like more pop kind of music. But so shout out to Between Friends, and of course the big stars Post Malone and Travis Scott.
Okay.
So, my highlight is an event that I'm going to in a couple weeks that's coming up, that I want to share in case somebody hasn't gotten the memo and is interested in coming. The world's biggest Afrobeats festival is actually happening in Detroit,
Yeah.
um, August 19th and the 20th, Afro Nation. So, a couple people they got in the lineup. They got Burna Boy, Ari Lennox, Lotto, um, DeVito, Coi Leray, Masego. It's a really dope lineup. They got multiple stages going on. So I'm super excited. Love Afrobeats. Also, just love black ass events. So very excited. Check it out if you are available to come join that weekend.
Yeah, that's a super dope look for Detroit. Let me highlight Yeat, man. I fuck with Yeat. Yeat makes some pretty good music. He has a song with Young Thug called My Wrist. So yeah, that shit go hard. Some good tunes to play in the whip or whatever. But other than that, go ahead and check out the highlights that we put up for you guys, and give us some feedback on the episode on what you think about the things that we said today. But other than that, this has been
Yes,
the
sir.
Friends
Peace.
Podcast, and we out. Peace out.
Bye.